the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Short boot, taken at the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
52's to Mike. Let's go, D.
Right back to him on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson is going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So they'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They run with Taylor, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though. There's no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Watch the good shot, baby. That's a baby shot.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Here's Taylor. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Rush in. Rush in. Rush in. Ready, go.
They'll run with Taylor. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. On 3rd down, it's Taylor. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. It's caught. Humphreys. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And, oh, that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Taylor. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Eagles on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. The 3rd down run gets him nothing.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No yardage.
Okay.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
A huge play there on the screen pass. 57 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. On 2nd and goal, Watson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. After the interception, here's Watson. It's caught. It's Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans push further out in front. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled. Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game. And in the driver's seat right now.
Here we go. At their own 21-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. The give to Taylor. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
2nd and 6. Now he's flushed out left, and that's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw is Watson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. taken in at the 22. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Another run with Sanders. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. They'll set up a throw. He gets it to Humphreys. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On 1st down, it's Taylor, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Taylor. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Line up, line up.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Dancing to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off near the 42.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Back to throw, Watson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
After the penalty, it's Miller. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves them with a more standard 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd down at the Eagles' 37-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 2nd and 5 now. Watson completes it to Dixon. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Houston. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter.
58 right there. Seam 6. 58, boys. 58. 58, Mike. Ready, go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership...
He's got a man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone.
Time to go, night-night. Stick. Ready.
They're going to try and run. And he'll get in. And they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. Needed a couple yards for the two-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I'm sure the messages that come out onto the field was, hey, take care of the football, because the fumble last possession led to a touchdown. Still a 3-score game, though.
You don't want things to start to snowball. You know, one error leads to another, which leads to another. And then all of a sudden you're fighting for your life down the stretch instead of finishing the game in style, which is what they're trying to do on this drive.
Yeah, it would be a pretty amazing comeback, but we've seen crazier things happen in the National Football League.
We certainly have.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson on the move to his left. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Here's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Here's Watson. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now.
Makes the score Texans 28, Eagles 17.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Second and 6.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Now Watson To throw on third down. And he's going to go down again. Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming. Ready, go.
Here's 2nd and 8. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards. They'll run on first down. Taylor. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Let's get off the field, G. Let's get off the field.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
58 to Mike.
They'll drop the throw. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Back to throw here. Steps away to his left. Now a desperation throw deep down. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys are back within a single score. Now a toss coming right side. Taylor. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. We'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Oh, they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over, is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get...
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Shift. 24.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
Hatchet.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Now Watson being chased. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit and, in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
58's the mic. I'm coming. 58's the mic. 58's the mic. Oh, you're not ready. Let up.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. But, Charles, we saw